Hi everybody, it is April 30th today, and it's been a while since I've sent out an update on everything that's going on with our current housing situation and governor's proclamation and eviction moratoriums. The short of it is we just finished our legislative session this last weekend. There are two bills that have been passed. One has been signed by the governor, and the other one is supposed to be signed, I believe, today. So I just wanted to send a quick update out on what that might mean for us as housing providers in Washington State. So the first one I want to mention is House Bill 1236. It basically is in regards to just cause evictions, and what that means is basically we have restrictions now on ending a tenancy. If the tenant is on a month-to-month tenancies, there's 14 different reasons outlined of why you can end a tenancy and ask a tenant to move, and if they don't meet any of those 14 reasons, then you can't ask them to move. What this means for us is really we're going to stop allowing a month-to-month rollover on our leases, and we will be requiring a 6 to 12-month lease for an initial term. Otherwise, we will fall under those just cause provisions. When we do have a lease in place, it will require a 60-day notice to end that lease. And so we will be contacting you earlier in the process to find out what your plans are for your property, because it does require more notice to tenants now. You are allowed to give a notice if you want to move into the property as your primary residence, or if you would like to sell it. It is a 90-day notice. So again, we will have to be planning further out to accommodate any of those sort of situations. Ending a month-to-month tenancy is not impossible, but it is very difficult. There's going to have to be at least 4 more documented and notices served for lease violation, in addition to a 60-day notice, and have to be willing to prove those violations in a court that a judge is going to accept as a reason for ending a tenancy. So anyway, it's an interesting bill. There's still a lot to weed through. Different attorneys have several different opinions on what this really means for us as landlords. We will continue to wade through it and let you know as we proceed with any policy changes on our end or what this means for you. The other bill is Senate Bill 5160. It's known as the right to counsel. Basically, what this bill does is it does end the current proclamation, which is good, and because that includes the governor's eviction moratorium. There is a possibility he could create a new proclamation with further moratoriums on evictions, but we don't think that's going to happen, but we'll definitely keep you posted on that. So there is some good news for landlords in that the eviction moratorium probably is going to be ending. It does outline a required payment plan for any tenants who are late during this whole COVID shutdown, and limits what we as landlords can ask or tell about tenants during the screening process. So the good news for us is the majority of our tenants have paid on time for the most part, and are current during this whole thing. So it really is not going to impact us in our office a whole bunch. So that's some good news. The other things that it does do is more around evictions, which again, we don't have to do a whole lot of that because our tenants in general pay on time as they're supposed to and are really awesome tenants. So kudos to them. But it does create an eviction resolution program that you will be required to participate in as a landlord. It also provides legal counsel to tenants facing eviction for free, state provided. And it also incorporates a lot of different changes to various notices for 14-day pay or vacate or lease violations. So anyway, we will adopt and adjust as we get different input from legal experts out there on both of these bills. The hard part right now is really they're poorly written. They didn't really consult the landlord group when they were writing these bills. There's some contradictions within them, and so we're just trying to figure out what that really means on our end and how we can adapt. But there will be more to follow as we hear from legal experts and as we adjust our policies accordingly. So what this means for us is we'll be looking at our leases and consulting our attorney on what we need to do to adjust to these. We'll be in contact with you as we move forward with your tenants and where they are. If you do know that you want to sell or move into your property, please reach out to us right away, because like I said, there is an extended notice period that is required now. And we will adjust rents as we can, since we have been limited in that, but it does require a 60-day notice, and we're not allowed to do that until July 1st anyway. So again, lots of different little nuances to these bills that we have to walk through. Happy to talk more in depth about them with any of you who'd like to talk about legislation and bills. I realize not everyone wants to hear that, but just wanted to give you a quick update of there is some movement. There is hopefully an end in sight to the eviction moratorium, and we will hopefully be able to move on with whatever normal is now. So I hope you're doing well, and if you have any questions or would like to schedule a time to meet via Zoom or phone, please let me know, because I'm happy to do that. Thanks so much, and happy spring.